Nick Rockwell, Editor-in-Chief of BC Business. On behalf of the BC Business team, congratulations to all the winners and finalists in our first annual Women of the Year Awards. It was a privilege to recognize these remarkable women and to share their stories with our readers. Thank you, everyone. I'd also like to thank the judges for their time and effort and our generous sponsor, the Women's Enterprise Center. I hope you enjoy this video and stay tuned for our second annual Women of the Year Awards. We'll be announcing the winners and runners-up in our April 2021 issue.
Hi, I'm Livleen Veslemes. I am someone who creates a big vision, I inspire great teams, and I scale businesses that pursue purpose with profit. Being a change maker is really important to me. I think that making change is evolving. If you're not evolving, then you really are dying. It's what keeps us alive. It's what moves us forward. So being a change maker is really important. And in whatever way change happens for you, that's what I would say. Organizations can create positive change, and that change, I believe, really comes about when you have a big purpose to get behind. I think when you've got a company with about 50 employees, sure, they can get behind a person. But as you scale and you get to 100 or 150 employees, it's really hard to stay connected to one leader's vision. It is really, why does this organization exist? What is it that we are here to do? If we can connect our people to the why, then the rest seems to happen. I found that a challenge can be resistance, especially if we have a vision that is very, very different from the status quo. Change is scary for people. It can really make people feel uncomfortable. It's pushing people outside of the boundaries of what they know. And so how is this going to impact me personally is usually the thought that goes through their head, is at least this is something that I know and I'm comfortable with, and who knows what tomorrow will be, given that we're about to undergo some change. I think that communication with the team, it's one of the critical success factors that I've had, is that alignment comes through communication, and some of those challenges can be reduced. Oprah Winfrey has been a really big inspiration to me along my journey. I remember watching her in the late 80s, the early 90s, when she was on TV each day. And I thought, wow, this woman, she is unstoppable. If there's no place for her, she is going to make a place for herself. She is going to make her position. And so she really inspired me. Someone else who really inspires me also, or had in the past, was Indra Nooyi. She's the former CEO and chairman of PepsiCo. To see this strong Indian woman with a family, these two little girls climbing up the ranks at Pepsi, and she just I saw myself in her. So if I was able to see her do it, I was able to see that I could also do it. It helped me really believe. COVID-19, it brought our business to a screeching halt. Before that, for the past 6 years, we had been going through hyper growth. We had been seeing 38, 40, 42, 45% year over year growth. We were doubling our revenues every 2 years. But when I woke up March 16th, it all changed in a moment. Those last 2 weeks of March were pretty scary. I remember watching my financial dashboards all day, every day, in between listening to Dr. Bonnie Henry and other news stations as to what was going to happen. And I can't say that there was a moment of panic. What I can say was there was definitely a feeling of disbelief that, wow, this is what's happening. And I think that with the shutdown, many businesses were physically shut down. For us, we were considered an essential service. And so our business was able to remain open, but we didn't have any revenue. There was no sales coming in. And so, being at a crossroads, the decision really was, do we stop what we're doing? Do we turtle and get into cash preservation mode? Or do we look at this terrible tragedy in a different way? Is there an opportunity here? Could there really be a silver lining in this? And that's what we pursued. We recognized, being in the healthcare field, we recognized the terrible tragedy that it was and the epidemic that it is. But we took that and took a core group of people and accelerated the business behind the business. When you go from being a $5 million a year company to $30 million a year, you really are building the airplane as you fly. And that's what we had been doing at BioLytical. We had been building the airplane as we flew. And the pandemic was that pause. It caused us to think and act on the systems and the processes that needed to catch up to where we were going, where we were headed. We invested heavily in our product pipeline. We invested heavily in infrastructure, in enterprise-wide systems, and invested in our facility move. And so I think that if we sometimes create change for ourselves, but sometimes there are circumstances that cause us to have to change. And much of it can really be about our mindset. And we can think about something as tearing us down or something that can help prepare us for when business does return. And you know what? Business did return, and the company is stronger than ever before. And that's a testament to the team that's in place and the team that is carrying on the strategies and carrying on the execution. As a society, we can, I know it's going to sound really counterintuitive. I know it's going to almost sound paradoxical, but as a society, I think that we can encourage more women to be business leaders if we support men. And so, if we can support men in allowing them to help us with the laundry in their own way, help us with the childcare in their own way, help us with the household duties in their own way, if we can support our men to help raise the next generation of boys, raise the next generation of girls, that's something that allows women then to have that extra time and that freedom to be able to pursue leadership in business as men have been doing for decades. I really truly believe that in order for equality to exist, that we will have to invest in all of us and pursue true equality. I know that's what's worked for me in my life. And so I know that's what can work. To women who are just starting out, I say be bold. Be bold, be brave, make the hard choices. The easy choice rarely ever scares you when you're at a crossroads. I know that the decision that is the scariest, but that's also filled with excitement, is usually the one that's going to lead to my personal growth. I know that that's where I'm going to learn the most and I'm going to grow the most, and it's going to set me up for the next thing and the next thing. I'd also say don't be afraid to say no. So know your worth, know what your value is, but don't be afraid to say no. I think that we've, as women, often feel obligated to take on more and take on more and take on more. But I think that there's so much strength in no. I know for myself in these last 6 months, I have said no more times than I've probably said no in my entire life. And so there's power in that. Go and get your dreams, go and catch them, go make them. I would say do that in a risk averse way, not in a risk averse way, but do that in a calculated risk way. So do your research, do your homework, run your projections, see what this opportunity really could be for you. And if you believe it, I know that you can make it happen. For me, I'm not sure what my next steps are and where I will be. I know that I'm in this wonderful place of exploration and in discovery. I left BioLytical a few months ago. I've been on a sabbatical. And when I came back, I started mentoring up and coming entrepreneurs. Most of them are women, and they each conversation with them has brought me so much gratitude and so much excitement for them that they're about to embark on this wonderful adventure. And it's made me be even more grateful to the mentors that I've had in my life in the past. It's had me see them in a different way. I can see board positions in my future. I can see more mentoring opportunities, and I can see continuing to be an advocate for women and an advocate for positive change.
Hi, I'm Jill Earthy, CEO of the Women's Enterprise Centre, and I am delighted to congratulate Livleen as the winner of the BC Business Women of the Year Award in the Changemaker category. Livleen has had a remarkable career story, using her drive and values to create real change in the world. In her role at BioLytical, Livleen not only grew the company to more than 100 employees, but helped to fight HIV/AIDS related illnesses in about 60 countries. We can only imagine what her next step will be. At Women's Enterprise Centre, we support women entrepreneurs all over BC with integrated services and capital so they can make an impact, just like Livleen. Thank you to BC Business Magazine and the Women of the Year sponsors for recognizing Livleen with the Changemaker Award.